What's going on, guys? Welcome back to the channel. In this video, we're going to be taking a look at the updated 2025 Volkswagen Jetta SE. So here for 2025, the Jetta has gotten what you could consider a mild refresh. So you're going to have some reconfigurations on the interior. You can probably notice if you're familiar with the Jetta, we've got a redesigned front grille here. We've got a redesign in the back as well. And we're going to cover everything in this video. But this color here is one of two new colors. You've got Monterey Blue Pearl, and then this color here, which is Monument Gray. It's a really nice kind of subtle gray color with some strong hints of blue in it. In the shade, it definitely looks blue, but once that sun hits it, you get that nice gray color. It kind of reminds me of Subaru's cool gray khaki, but it's a little bit lighter than that even. So it's a really subtle but pretty color, so I had to grab it here for this video. But let's go ahead and start up here on the front grille. This headlight design is a little bit different than what we've got last year, and I'll have side by side so you can see the 2024 model to 2025. But this headlight design, nice low profile LED headlight design with LED daytime running lights, LED high beams and main beams as well. On higher trims, again, this is the SE, but on higher trim levels, you can get a light bar that runs across the front, Volkswagen badge in the center, and then you have what I kind of consider a GTI style front grille here at the bottom. You get kind of this diamond three-dimensional pattern here at the bottom with these little accent points here that are satin. Runs across the front lip here. You have a body colored split with some nice accent lines, and then you have a little more body colored panel at the bottom as well. But just a really nice sporty grille design here. I think it's a little bit more squished than previous models. Like the previous model, it went up a little higher here, and then this part was a little fatter as well. This is a little bit more slimmed down, aerodynamic, squatty, sporty, all that kind of stuff, and you love to see it. Now, under the hood of every single Jetta, you're going to have the same 1.5 liter turbocharged four-cylinder, 158 horsepower, 184 pound-feet of torque. Now, you can get a 6-speed manual transmission, but it's only on the GLI now. So every single trim is going to have the 8-speed automatic transmission, 40 miles per gallon highway. You heard me correctly, 40 miles per gallon highway, 29 miles per gallon city. Now, if we move on back, this Jetta is sitting on 18-inch dark graphite painted alloy wheels. We added these on. Traditionally, it's going to have 17-inch alloy wheels with all-season tires, but we added the black wheel package for $495, which includes those 18-inch graphite painted alloy wheels, and I think they look really nice in contrast with this kind of softer, lighter paint color. No cladding around the wheel wells at all, just body-colored piece. If you move on back, you've got body-colored side mirrors. These are manual folding mirrors, but they do have heating and blind spot monitoring built into them. Some chrome trim at the bottom of the windows here. You do have a panoramic roof here as well. Keyless access on the door panels. All right, moving here to the back of the Jetta, you'll notice this new LED light bar that runs across the back here. You've got the Jetta word mark right on top of it as well. Nice little Volkswagen badge here. Got your SE badging, pretty much it. It's pretty clean back here. So the LED taillights with the LED light bar is going to be a new design for 2025. Got some body colored here at the bottom, some reflectors down here. That's pretty much it. Not a whole lot going on. It's a pretty simplified back end. No power liftgate either, but you do have a rear camera and a button you can push to fling this thing open, and you get access to 14 cubic feet of cargo space with the second row seats up. If you fold those down, you'll get a little bit more, but you've got your cargo protection system back here. You've got a license plate cover. You have your monster mats as well. And then underneath the floor, you also have a spare tire and all of your tools. And while there's not a whole lot going on in the cargo area, you do get decent storage space for something this size. All right, so hopping into the interior of the new 2025 Jetta. A couple things stand out to me. The updated infotainment area, the vents look a little bit different. Some of the interior materials look a little bit nicer. While you still have kind of that bottom barrel overall material feel, you have to keep in mind this is a very, very affordable sedan at about $25,000. That is really tough to find a brand new car in any segment that is that cheap. So keep that in mind as we're walking through all the materials, but you still get a nice set of features here, and I want to make sure I cover all of it for you. So if we start over here on the door panels, you get a little bit of soft touch rubber up top, a little bit of a, like a textured plastic accent piece here. Then you have hard black plastic. Then you have some nice kind of gray leather material on the side of the door panels, black leather material on the bottom with some white contrast stitching, and then basically hard black plastic all the way down from that. You've got your little lighting control over here. That's exactly the same. You don't have any kind of modern update update on that. And that's kind of a theme throughout this whole vehicle. And while you've gotten a refresh for 2025, it's not really up to the like top Volkswagen standard that you get on most other vehicles yet. I'm hoping that when we get a full refresh that we'll get all of those updates. I was kind of expecting that this time around, but unfortunately we got kind of minor improvements here and there. And again, we're going to cover all of it here. So you have the outdated lighting control over here on the side. You've got this updated vent design though that runs all the way across the dash. It's kind of got these little 3 plastic line accent piece here. But we have the same kind of soft touch material up top on the dash. That vent kind of trim that runs across the full length of the dash, even above the glove box. Then you have this really interesting kind of suede-y, it's like a hard suede material. So it's got like a softness to it, but it still feels plasticky underneath. You don't have kind of any indentation that you can do on it, but really nice material here. It feels nice and premium that runs across the center of the dash, and then hard black plastic all the way down. They did thankfully get rid of all of that gloss black plastic, at least on this trim, around the shift knob area, and then hard black plastic near the cup holders, and then some soft touch leather material on the armrests. You do have a leather wrapped steering wheel here. All of your cruise control options for your adaptive cruise control are on the left side. Media controls and controls for your driver information display are on the right side. Now past the steering wheel, you've got your lights and turn signal on the left stalk. Then on the right stalk, you've got your wiper controls. Now as far as that driver information display goes, you have 2 different options. One is an 8-inch driver information display, and then you also have a 10.3-inch driver information display on higher trim levels. So this is basically the Volkswagen Digital Cockpit versus the Volkswagen Digital Cockpit Pro. And I've talked about this in videos before, but here's what they look like side by side. But this is the less expensive version, so you're going to get the kind of lower end graphics package. Now you still are getting a digital display. It's just the amount of customization is pretty limited. There's just a couple different views you can customize, and the graphics just look kind of outdated to me. But again, if you want to go for a higher trim level, you'll get that full 10.3-inch Volkswagen Digital Cockpit Pro. Now I mentioned the infotainment display is updated. It used to kind of sit within the dash. It was all unified. Now it's this part that kind of protrudes out, and it's like it sits on top of the dash instead of being integrated in. Some people are going to like that, some people won't. Overall, the look of this is exactly the same as you get on the 2024 model as far as kind of design goes. So you've got the same icons, the Volkswagen's flat icon style with the squares with the colored lines underneath. So if you've seen any older Volkswagen models, that's what they all have. This doesn't have the updated system that like the new Tiguan has, or the Cross Sport, or the ID4, or the GTI. Nothing like that yet. This is the last gen system. Still works great. You've got wireless Apple CarPlay and Android Auto. You've got radio, Bluetooth, AM, FM, Sirius XM, built-in navigation, your assist systems, on-screen climate control, all that kind of stuff. You still have it. It's just not the newest system. So if you want that, either wait or go with a different Volkswagen model. 2 vents underneath that, and then you have a little climate control panel here. Now this has a dual zone climate control system, so individually adjustable driver and passenger. You can sync them up. You have some vents underneath the seats, but no independent vents in the back. But all of your climate controls are touch capacitive. So you've got sliders for increasing fan speed and temperature, and then touch capacitive for on and off, defogging, syncing, heated seats, all that kind of stuff. So if you don't like touch capacitive, just keep in mind this does have it. Underneath that, you do have a Qi-enabled wireless charging pad, 2 USB-C ports for charging. Here near the shift knob, you've got a 12-volt outlet, your push-to-start engine button, electronic parking brake, auto start-stop engine disable button, and your eco mode button. And then like I said outside, this is an 8-speed automatic transmission with Tiptronic and sport mode, and it's leather wrapped at the bottom with some contrast stitching. One little pocket here, you could put like your phone sort of in there, and then you have 2 cup holders here. And then inside the center console, nice deep pocket, 1 more USB-C charging port, but no lights or other ports, but nice deep pocket there. And then you do have your standard glove box. Auto dimming rearview mirror up top. Got your lighting controls and your sunroof controls for your panoramic-ish roof that can open up. It is tilting and sliding. You've got this little sunshade as well. Sunglasses holder right here as well. OnStar buttons, and then you have a light gray liner up top. Now, as far as seating surfaces go, these are Volkswagen's CloudTex and leatherette seating surfaces. So you've got this CloudTex material, which is almost like a soft kind of suede cloth feeling material. Then you've got the leatherette accents on the bolsters. These are perforated with some accent stitching as well, and they call it, I think, Grigio or Grigio, and black is the color, so I'm guessing that is the gray in the center. Pardon my Italian, maybe, is that what that is? Not sure how you pronounce that, but it is a really nice feeling material. They're nice and soft. The driver is a power adjustable seat, and the passenger is just a manually adjustable seat, but they are both heated. And then as far as safety systems go, you've got Volkswagen's advanced airbag protection system with 6 airbags, electronic brake distribution, electronic stability control, intelligent crash response systems. You've got your rear camera system, hill hold control, and then you have all of Volkswagen's IQ Drive features, which will give you travel assist, which is a really nice semi-autonomous driving system, adaptive cruise control with stop and go, lane assist, emergency assist, front assist, automatic emergency braking with pedestrian monitoring, active blind spot monitoring, and rear traffic alert. All right, hopping here into the back seats of the Jetta. Pretty decent already right off the bat as far as the kind of feel goes. I moved this seat up a tiny bit. I had it pretty far back. It wasn't even that comfortable for where I'm sitting at 6'1". I get probably 4 or 5 inches of rear legroom here. Nice space there. You can tuck your feet up underneath just a little bit. Got pretty decent headroom, not amazing, but it's okay. Shoulder room's not great, but again, it's a pretty compact sedan here. You can fold this down, get a couple more cup holders, or use it just as a nice armrest. Door panel materials are going to take a massive hit back here. You know, they already weren't amazing, but again, this is a $25,000 car, so you're going to have pretty cheap plastic here in the back, but it'll suffice. But you still have your kind of cloud text and leatherette seats back here, but no heated option on this specific model. No USB ports back here either, and no vents like I mentioned. You do have some dome lights. You also have some hooks, and then the light from that, you know, sunroof will come back here a little bit. Not too much, but a little bit. 2 adults back here, you'd be okay for a little bit of time. 2 kids will be plenty comfortable. 3 kids even, I think, is pushing it because of how high this center hump is here. Even as a kid with really short legs, you'd have to put them way up. Like, look at where my feet are. Like, just not super comfortable because of that hump in the floor here. But 2 adults, 2 kids should be fine. All right, let's go take the 2025 Jetta for a test drive. All right, reminder, this has the 1.5 liter turbocharged 4-cylinder, 158 horsepower, 184 pound-feet of torque, 40 miles per gallon highway, 29 miles per gallon city, and it's paired with an 8-speed automatic transmission, and it has sport mode. So we'll go ahead and put it down into sport mode here, get a little acceleration test. It sounds good. This is just, again, the SE. I know the GLI sounds really good, so I've reviewed that in the past. If you're interested, I'll have it linked down below. Modest 0 to 60, probably around 7 seconds. You know, it sounds good. It doesn't feel super exhilarating, but again, it doesn't feel slow by any means. Like, you definitely have some giddy up. It just takes a second to really get going. And that can be unfortunate in moments just like that, because I needed to really pull out and get going, and it just... and it kind of digs in. Just keep that in mind. This is going to be the same engine that you've had on previous Jetta models, so if you've driven a 2023, 2024, 2022 Jetta, any of the recent years, this is going to be very familiar. Now again, we do have travel assist, like I mentioned, and we can switch between IQ Drive travel assist and regular adaptive cruise, and we can go ahead and set it, and this should keep us in the center of the lane, even around curves like this one coming up right here. Maybe it's too steep of a curve. We'll try it on the highway. Didn't do a good job of taking us around that curve, but it might have been too steep for travel assist, but it is keeping me in the center of the lane here, even on side roads. But obviously it's mainly meant for traveling, i.e. travel assist. But while we're cruising here, we can get a dB test. It's right around like 61, 63 dB or so. And when accelerating, it gets a little bit louder. Golly, that takes a bit. Maybe it's because I'm in sport mode. All right, let's get an idle dB test as we're stopping here. About 43 dB when the engine turns off. Around 50 with it on. But as we're sitting here, we can just talk about a couple things that I like about the Jetta here in 2025 and a couple things that I don't like as much. First and foremost, I think they did a really good job with the redesign. It's more like a refresh than a redesign, really. They did a good job cleaning up the front end, compressing it down, making it more sporty, more aggressive, and I really like the look of it. And I think with the LED light bar across the front on higher trim levels, it'll look even better. And we will be reviewing a higher trim level when we do get one on the lot, but I wanted to go ahead and make this first look for you guys with the SE here. But really like what they did with the front, like what they did with the back, with the light bar that goes across the back as well, and kind of the word mark on the light bar. I think it looks good overall. Number two, I think these seats are really comfortable. I really like this cloud text and leatherette material combo. combo. I think it looks really nice. It looks really easy to clean as well, and they're really comfortable. I wish there was a ventilated option here on the SE. Maybe on higher trim levels you can get a ventilated seat, but for $24,000, $25,000, you wouldn't expect to have a ventilated seat, but you've already got the perforation, so it would have been nice. But this material is really, really premium. The seats feel nice and sporty and bolstered, so overall, really good. And thirdly, kind of a weird one, I really like this paint color, this monument gray. I think it's really clean, really nice. I love the kind of subtle blue hints to it without being overpowering and just having a nice premium subtle color. Good job, Volkswagen. Now for three things that I don't like as much, the first one is a big one for me, and it is this rear view camera quality. It is horrible, horrible. One of the worst quality rear view cameras I've seen on a modern vehicle in years. It's horrible. Change it. Look at this. It's so blurry. This has to be the same one we've had since the Jetta got redesigned in 2019. It gets so bad. Volkswagen really needs to make that a priority because it's a big, big miss in my opinion. Second, I don't love the fact that you don't get a standard size digital display here. They standardized the infotainment, which I really like and I appreciate that, but I really wish they would have standardized and just given everybody the 10.3-inch digital dash. Just make that the dash. We don't need multiple options. Just make that the dash. This dash is bad. The graphics are bad. It's just not good overall, and I really wish they'd change it. And then lastly, this is again a nitpick, and it's not a full redesign, so I can't really complain too much about it, but I wish they would have updated the infotainment display to be the modern Volkswagen infotainment display. This isn't a bad system. It still works. You still get wireless Apple CarPlay and Android Auto. You can get navigation on higher trim levels, Bluetooth, AM, FM, Sirius XM radio, all that is great, but I just would have liked to see them go fully modern, but maybe they're waiting for kind of a more significant redesign, and that's fine. We'll wait. But now that we're cruising on the highway, we can go ahead and turn on our travel assist, set that, keep us away from this Cybertruck, and we'll get a DB test. About 72 dBs on the highway, but overall, getting up to speed, it feels good. Responsive steering, overall not bad at all. I would lose to that Cybertruck in just about every metric, but I guess you could add a couple other things to the things that I like about the Jetta. I like that the infotainment is very driver-centric. It's tilted this way. The whole center console is kind of bending this direction towards the driver, which makes it all super accessible and easy, which I really like. I like the updates they made to the dash as well. I like this kind of three-line vent design that goes across the top of the dash, and this soft touch satin velvety material that they've got layered over this piece in the center. It just takes the cabin materials up a notch, whereas on the door panels they're really low. That kind of helps elevate them a tiny bit and make it feel a little bit more cohesive, a little bit more premium, and I really appreciate that they did that. So should you pick up a 2025 Jetta over a 2024 Jetta? They're really, really close in price. We have SEs on the lot that are 2024 models that are $24,875, and this is $24,975. So for $100 extra to get that updated design, to get the updated infotainment that's larger across the board on all models, to get some of the interior adjustments and improvements, to get one of the new paint colors if you want that, to get the nicer 19-inch wheels with the black alloy, you know, to get this nice seating surface, and to get overall just a higher premium feel, I think it's well worth that extra money. So if you're debating between the two, I would go ahead and just get the 2025, and maybe you can get a higher end one that has the light bar that runs across the front as well. So completely up to you guys, but I think that going from the 2024 to the 2025 for just a little bit of extra money is well worth it. So thanks so much for watching, guys. I hope you enjoyed the video. If you did, drop a like. Let me know down in the comments what you think about the updated 2025 Volkswagen Jetta SE. Let's talk about it down in the comments. And don't forget to hit that subscribe button to be one of the first to see every single new video the second I hit publish. We'll see you in the next one.